Now, this is the second part in response to when we had you guys all fill out those papers about what you would like us to talk about, what you have questions about and such. And this was actually part of Claudia's question. We talked about it last week as well. Last week we talked about creation and evolution, and do the two fit in with the Bible, and do the two fit together? Can they be used together? And the days in Genesis, could they possibly be 1,000 years as a day, or could they be 10,000 years or 1,000,000 years or such? And what was our conclusion on that?
No.
Why?
Because he created day and night first.
Okay, part of it is day and night, because it says, and the evening and the morning was the first day, and it's an evening and a morning, and it's not evenings and mornings, and it's not, there's nothing else you know of as an evening and a morning other than one day. There's more than one evening and morning in 10,000 years.
We also talked about we also determined that it was one day because of the term day that they used.
Yep, the word yom that they used always refers to a literal 24-hour period. And also, remember in Exodus chapter 20, which is the Ten Commandments, it says it's based on the fact that God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh, that we too should work for 6 and rest on the seventh, and how much it would really stink if you were part of that 6,000 years that you had to work otherwise, because that just doesn't work. It wouldn't make any sense then in light of that. All right, so the second part of that is you guys asked that we could talk about dinosaurs. So here we have T-Rex. Yeah, in fact, we're going to come back to T-Rex at the end. We're going to talk about him, and is this really an accurate representation? This is obviously an artist's drawing. This isn't a picture of a T-Rex, because we have no pictures of T-Rex.
We should go back and find it. Make a common sheet.
That'd be sweet, wouldn't it? Okay, here's a bunch of other dinosaurs that they have artist representations of again. These are not necessarily how they looked. You don't know that these guys were yellow and this guy was kind of bluish green.
He doesn't have a bump on his head.
Yeah, this guy doesn't have a bump on his head,
exist.
so that's probably wrong. And we don't know if he had hair.
Spikes.
There's nothing from fossilized bones that can tell us whether he had hair or not,
Or feathers,
anything like that.
Spikes.
All right. So, what about the dinosaurs? Does the Bible talk about them? And do they contradict with the Bible? That's what we're going to talk about today. So, first, some facts about dinosaurs. These are facts. Whether you're an evolutionist or a creationist or anywhere in between,
You gotta have an instant there.
or a confusedist. Anywhere in between, these are some facts. Fact number 1. All known dinosaurs are found in fossils. We have never found a living, breathing, walking dinosaur yet.
What about the Loch Ness Monster?
We haven't found it. So if it is, we still haven't found it.
What about that really crazy looking shark they found last year or something?
That wasn't last year. We're going to talk about that a little later. That was in 1977 that they found that.
No, they found them more recently. They found them more recently. It had a bunch of really good looking red gills on it and stuff. And then it dies in a swimming pool.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Because they transferred it or whatever.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Probably saltwater.
Look it up.
I'll have to look that up. Okay, so all known dinosaurs that we know of right now are fossils. So, how does a fossil form? How do we get fossils? Fossils are formed by a rapid process involving water and pressure. That's how fossils are formed. Some of my favorite fossils, I was telling Devin and Joel here earlier that I saw a picture of a fossil from Texas where it's a cowboy boot with a guy's leg. Apparently the guy's leg had been severed. Maybe it was in a mine or something like that, but it was fossilized rapidly, almost instantly. The guy's leg is fossilized, the boot's fine. The boot's still leather and pliable and everything like that. But the guy's, you can see the fossil bone coming out of it and everything. It's a rapid fossilization. how fossils do not form. An animal dies and layers go over top of it. What happens when an animal dies and he sits in the woods or sits out in the plain and all of a sudden, it decomposes. That's what happens with how supposedly evolution says that these took place and how they've got different strata and such. Fossils are formed by a rapid process involving high pressure and water. Always. That's how fossils are formed. Dinosaur fossils are found worldwide. They're not localized. There are groups here and groups there, but they're around the globe. I believe on every continent other than maybe Antarctica, and that's just because it's a little... I think they found a woolly mammoth, but I don't know if they found like dinosaurs. But either way, it's pretty hard to excavate there. And our last fact, the majority of dinosaur fossils found are species no bigger than a dog. So, we've got some dogs that are pretty good size. Nothing bigger than that. Most of the fossils, that is, Great Dane.
English that lived in my old neighborhood, and he used to look that tall
Yeah.
outwards.
Most of the dinosaur species that they have found are no bigger than a dog. So they're not all of these huge T-Rex, these huge Apatosaurus, and Triceratops, and all those. They're not all those huge ones. In fact, I think most experts would say the majority of them are no bigger than a chicken. So I put in here, to be a little conservative, I put a dog. So they're not very big. They're not very big for the most part. Some of them are. Some of them are. What's that?
I think we could outrun them like that.
Dog?
I said they're about the size of a chicken.
You might. Although they can fly. Chickens can fly. So, question. Does the Bible mention dinosaurs anywhere? You would think if dinosaurs, we've got all this evidence that they did exist, we've got all the bones and everything, you would hope that the Bible would mention it somehow, right? Does the Bible mention dinosaurs anywhere? Yeah.
Doesn't it say something about like Leviathan? Isn't that like a dinosaur?
We're going to take a look. Very good.
What about that one thing, that fire-breathing thing?
That's the Leviathan.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are on the same track.
The behemoth.
There's two animals we're going to take a look at in the book of Job. The behemoth, which in your NIV Bibles in the footnotes, it'll say either an elephant or a hippo. And we're going to see. We're going to evaluate because it gives a description of this creature and tells you all about him. And so we're going to evaluate, does that fit? Is it an elephant? Is it a hippo?
It looks like
It does. It does.
So it does not.
And the second one we're going to take a look at is Leviathan, and it'll say in your footnotes, possibly a crocodile.
Yeah.
Okay, alligator, crocodile, depends on which side of the Pacific you're on.
Or freshwater, saltwater.
Or freshwater or saltwater. So, Leviathan, it says possibly a crocodile. So we're going to take a look. If you've got your Bible, turn to Job chapter 40. Job chapter 40. This is toward the end of the book of Job. Job's only 42 chapters long. Job's already argued with his friends over his righteousness